stopped and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
All right, what's up, people? Welcome. We are live. Not the RGT podcast. I know you guys are looking forward to that. Big announcement for you guys Monday. I just told Tony here he's blown away, but big announcement for next week. So we're gonna do that. But this is not the RGT podcast. This is a little something that we wanted to bring back. I've known this dude right here for about 3 years. Last time I had him on is when, ironically, I did my name change. Before, but it wasn't even this name. It was Ryan Professional at the time. And we were on here. We had a blast. And I was like, dude, I love this dude, man. He's always honest as hell. He's always up front. And speaking of this guy, let me go ahead and introduce him, man. He is the host of the Throwdown Show. He is, when I first met him, he was an occasional editor for geek.com. I know he's moved on to even better things since then. He's worked with DualShockers and amongst other publishers. And it's awesome to have him with us today. We're not going to be super long for this. We're going to talk about a few things. But again, I'm always blessed to talk to family. And this dude I consider family. Like, I've known him from that long. And it's awesome to have him with us. I'm here with my man, the one and only Tony Polanco. What's up, brother?
What's going on, brother? Yeah, it's been a while, but I'm happy to be back on and just, shooting it, man, getting it in.
Oh, you already know. Long overdue.
Yes.
Long overdue.
Indeed.
A lot has changed. Shout out to the chat. I see you guys. What's up, Moby, Techno? We got Hustle. I see you. John Wolf. What up? Yo, shout out to Techno Fabulous with the $20. No message attached, but I appreciate the super chat. Thank you very, very much. Thank you. What's up, Sean? We got John the Don. And look who just came through. Yay, Paris. We were just talking about you. Say you were going to creep in here. So what's up, Paris? Hey, when you go and make an appearance, I'm just saying, when can we get Paris on RGT? We had Tony on. Well, what can we make that possible?
My man's doing this right on air, too.
No shame. Right there on the spot. You know how it be. But anyway, shout out to Paris. I see you, dude. All right, so let's talk, man. Let's talk. There's been a lot going on since then. A lot of change from when we first started to talk about this industry, especially with PlayStation, PC. And I think you said on your show, the moment Sony opened that door to PC, there was like a slippery slope that was just introduced, and there was going to be a band of people who were with it and a band of people who were against it because they don't like what? Change. They want the same norm. And I know it's like that old formula, if it ain't broke, don't fix it type of thing. And a lot of people want that. But the thing is, though, business is what it is at the end of the day. Business 101. Things change. Different perspectives change. And, of course, what happened, Tony? We have new leaders, new leadership. All the OGs that we knew, from Sean Layden, from the Andrew Houses to Jack Tretton, everybody. They're no longer there. We have new people. So let me go ahead and ask you, man, what is your thoughts on PlayStation and everything they've done? And we'll definitely segue into Microsoft because, a lot to take into that too. But what's your take on it?
Yeah, no, it's interesting. Like, you're talking about the kind of the old guard of Sony, even though it's like literally 5 years ago. It was like it's technically hasn't been that long, but it feels like it. You know how gaming is. Things just move forward. So it's just kind of interesting seeing. See, I'm trying to choose my words here because obviously Sony is still, the top of the big three, right?
Yeah.
But it's not as solidified as it was before. Like last generation, Sony went right out the gate, basically because Microsoft shot itself in the foot with the Xbox One and all that. So PlayStation just had a clear, they just coasted the entire generation, basically. Which was very different than the PS3 generation. They had to really ride hard because they were behind, right? Now Sony is still coasting, but now Microsoft's coming up. You've seen these sales numbers. Xbox Series X is outselling PlayStation now, right? In certain quarters. Very interesting, right? Because basically what's going on is Sony PlayStation is still going at it the old way, right? Which is here's a console, here's some games, right?
Yeah.
Xbox like, yo, here's a service, play where you want.
Yeah. And if you need a console, here it is. Here's one.
If you need a console, cool, but play it on your phone, play it on your tablet, play it on your PC. We got you, right? And that's a more modern take on gaming, right? And Sony is still like think about it, it's like 2000. I'm thinking about this right now. I'm like, yo, bro, it's 2022. Why can't I play my PlayStation games on a mobile device? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Why do I have to buy a game separately on PC that's completely removed from the PlayStation ecosystem? You know what I'm saying? Like on Xbox, you buy one game, it's on everything, right? Yeah. You know, so it's Sony needs to get with it, but at the same time, they're trying to modernize, and this is just me speaking personally right now in a bad way with this battle royale stuff that's going on right now, right? Like they specifically bought Bungie because they want not battle royale, but like with live service games, right? They want more of these, so like they're pushing hard on that. And I'm like, it just seems like they're chasing a fad, right? When it comes to these live service games, like, correct me if I'm wrong here. I could only name 2 successes: Destiny and The Division. Right? I can't really. I mean, Fortnite. I guess Fortnite's a weird. I don't know if that's a live service game or not, but it kind of is, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's interesting.
We know we got 10 that are confirmed that are coming. I mean, we can throw filters and throw games at the wall right now, because what do we know that's coming out? We got The Last of Us remake, right? But Factions. So we know Factions probably is going to look at that model, right? Just to get the most out of that. You're going to have more than likely SOCOM. Resistance is definitely coming back at this point because they have a whole preservation team going back and bringing back these games and bringing them back in the public view. So if you got those things working with it, you're going to see more coming down the way. Haven Studios, it's another one. Might have some multiplayer elements, or Demolition Games. So they clearly see where the industry is heading. You know what I mean? They clearly see it. But the thing is, should they go all out like with the jump? And the reason why I say that is because, you saw how Microsoft has their pricing for Game Pass and everything for the tiers, and you already know they're working on a family plan. Sony is asking for $120 a year for theirs. There's no discount whatsoever, so they're trying not to take a loss on the whole thing, and there's no day and date games on this at all, right? There's nothing like that, but you are getting the PS3, PS1, 2, and PSP games. Cool, but like I said before, these are streaming. A lot of these are streaming when it comes to the PS3 titles. You know what I'm saying? And that's not it. You need an option to download, and they're looking ways to fix that. So I don't know, man. It's like I see where they're going, but they're like far behind at this point. Now, this just came out when Game Pass was just announced. I think that this probably would have, nobody would really care because it's like, yeah, okay, understandable. But now it's like Microsoft's giving you day one releases from all their studios here. Plus, you're getting deals on top of that. Hard to and you're getting them on multiple devices. So it's a lot. Like, again, Xbox is just so far ahead right now, and Sony's trying to do catch up. And I remember, when this thing was first announced, it's called Project Spartacus, right? I was like, that seems pretty dope. This seems pretty dope. But then, when the actual thing that was revealed, it's just PlayStation Plus. I was like, I'm good. I don't need to upgrade. I'm good. There's 3 tiers. I'm like, I'm going to stick with what I got because most of the games that are being offered, they're old games. I'm like, all right. I granted that is a problem I kind of have with Xbox Game Pass as well, because I'm a person that generally plays new games. I play old games mostly if they're re-released, because of the nature of my job, I can't be like, hey, I'm going to go play Super Mario Brothers 3 right now. It's like, that's a waste of my time. Not saying the game isn't great. The game's fucking fantastic, but I don't know if I can curse here, by the way. You're fine. Okay. But you know what I'm saying? It's like, so in that sense, both of them don't offer me anything. But then, like you said, it's like the streaming aspect, not to say streaming games is bad, because I've actually it was actually Project X Cloud was the one that was like made me kind of open my eyes. So I'm like, okay, this is actually dope, because first streaming thing I tried was PS Now back in the day, and it was trash, right? Yeah, I tried to be Infamous, never went back.
No,
I never again.
But I remember this was in Paris, if he's still there, he remembers this. It was me, Danny, and Paris. We were in a hotel room in San Francisco. There's a hotel Wi-Fi, and Danny had the beta for Project X Cloud. He's like, yo, try this out. He got his phone, clipped it onto an Xbox controller, and I'm like, all right, let's try this out. I popped in Destiny 2. I'm like, let's really put this thing to spaces. Bro, it was like playing it locally. I'm like, okay, cloud gaming has really come a long way. But with that said, that's still not my preferred method.
Right,
you know?
You want to own the game and you want to have a legit link to just, fire it up, which is understandable. Yeah. And hopefully they fix that. I mean, I don't know, man. It feels like we're slowly getting there, I guess, right? We're slowly trotting along the line to get to where they want.
Yeah.
But they still are just not putting an effort. And also, I don't know if you heard, so it looks like they're remember correctly, yeah, they're blocking like basically people from stacking their memberships right now.
Yeah. Oh, really? Plus. Oh, no, I didn't know that.
Blocking that now. So
interesting. That's why. You know what? I think I skimmed that today. A very busy day for me, but yeah, I think I saw something. I got to read up on it. That's interesting. Okay, so I remember I used to do that too. It's like you buy a couple of years worth and you're straight. Yeah,
you go to like SCD keys, double.
Yeah, SCD keys.
There you go.
You know.
Damn, man.
That's an insider trick right there. But yeah, no, it's just interesting to see where Sony's going. And then right now, and this is a problem plaguing Xbox as well. It's like you have these new consoles, no games for it. And this is what I mean.
Yeah.
If you just own a PS4, you could play Horizon Forbidden West. You can play Elden Ring. You can play God of War Ragnarok, right? Like, granted, you're going to be missing stuff like Ratchet and Clank, which is fantastic. But for the most part, if you only own a last-gen system, you're all right. You know,
you're
so
fine.
Yeah. So I'm still here waiting for these games like to come out. You know, it's this year. I can't name a single PS5 exclusive. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about that's not on PS4. Please in the chat, let me know. I can't name a single one. You know,
we got Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine are guaranteed.
They ain't dropping this year.
Yeah, that's
they ain't
that's
dropping
next
this year. You know, I'm talking about 2022. Name one. I can't. You know, and again, I'm not over here like dogging on the console. I own a PS5. I bought it day one.
Yeah.
You know, but I gotta keep it real here. You know, if I had just had my PS4 Pro, I'd be good. You know.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing too. There wasn't really like a big. You know what it is? Let me get your take on this. Like, how do you feel about these games? So, like, are you really like wowed by these games right now?
No,
I'm not. Really blown away. I'm not. Like, what I'm seeing is
not
like
at all, bro.
You know what I mean? Like for example, Horizon Forbidden West looks amazing, but it's not like amazing to the point where it's like, yo, that's it. You know what I mean? It's not like that for me. If that makes sense. It looks great, visual and the visual department and whatnot, but gameplay and whatnot, it's falling in that line of the same. You know what I mean?
And I mean, and it's funny you say that because that's literally what I said in my review. I reviewed it for Tom's Guide, and I said, like, yo, if you love the last game, you're gonna love this one. But if you didn't care for the last one, you're not gonna care for this one either because it's just more of the same. You know, it's I called it a crowd pleasing game.
Yeah.
You could take that any way you want, but it is like this is a game. It's not The Last of Us 2. Last of Us 2, you could tell they're like, okay, we're gonna divide the community right
we're gonna
here.
Kill the community. In
yeah.
ways.
With Horizon, with this one, and I love the game, by the way. I got the platinum and everything. You could tell, like, okay, let's not do anything crazy. Let's give them more what they want, you know?
Right,
and that's not bad. That's not bad. Don't get me wrong, but you're not getting anything crazy, you know? So
it's more style over substance, I would say, for Forbidden West on PS5. You're getting the crazy water effects, the melting effects. You shoot them with the acid arrows and stuff like that. Like, that stuff looks good, but that's about it. Like, it's not really like, this is it, you know? And I'm hearing that Wolverine is going to be the game to really look out for PS5 to really push it, which I'm hoping for because, this is Wolverine. It's mature rated, so that's all you got to do. But Spider-Man as well. But again, what else? Should we be counting on Haven Studios or Demolition Games maybe?
I don't know, man. By the way, where's that Wolverine talk come from? It's like, you don't know anything about the game. Or the developer. Because if the developer is telling you, of course they're going to say that, you know? So we'll see. Obviously, I'm a Wolverine fan, so I want to. Wolverine and Insomniac fan. I know the game's gonna be fire, but it's too early to be talking about the quality of it at the moment, you know.
Yeah.
But again, like you said, good stuff coming, but that's over there. You know, it ain't coming anytime soon.
It ain't the now. It ain't the now. Yeah. And speaking of the now, let's talk about the Xbox and the narrative, I guess, because when we were talking, it was bad, man. Like it was bad when we were really talking. There was like nothing to talk about in terms of positive. Like it was just, dude, what are we doing here? Felt like chickens with their heads cut off type of thing. Like, well, where's the direction? And now they've slowly changed the narrative to something better, where everybody's looking at them not necessarily as the best in terms of like power or anything, right? They're looking at them in terms of like the best in terms of a deal, what you're getting for your dollar. Type of thing, and that right there goes a long way, and it's clearly showing. And granted, Sony can't guarantee you a PS5, just like Microsoft can't guarantee you an Xbox, but yet they have an alternative, that's Series S, that a lot of us talked down on at the beginning of this. Actually,
I know I did.
Clutch.
Keeping it real, keeping it real.
Clutch.
I was like, that's the budget console, that's the Dollar Tree console, but you could only, if that's the only one you could find. What can you do,
Yeah. I mean, a lot of us do, like a lot of people don't realize, but we all do this. It's called impulse buy. We see it. Oh, I got to grab that, got to cap that.
At FOMO, bro.
There you go. So I just, seeing the situation change and them get, I guess, in a better standing with it now, and everybody looking at them is good, but you still got to ask yourself, like, what else is down the road? Because we're still waiting for updates for Avowed, waiting for updates for Hellblade 2. We saw gameplay of it look good. I'm
waiting for a Halo Infinite to release. Yes, you heard me right. That game is not done until it has co-op. I don't care. I'm still waiting for Halo Infinite to come out. I'd
love to be a fly on the wall when you saw that map for the announcement.
Bruh, I was like, what? Man, yeah, so it's like both but both of them are not, in terms of new games, are not looking great, but in terms of like service, Microsoft is definitely winning there, because if you're and I would expect this, because you and I, we're hardcore dudes, we're with it, we get the newest games, but I think the majority of gamers, they play games whenever, you know what I'm saying? So for them, if like paying $15 for like a buffet, you can't beat that.
At home, you're at home, you're saving money. That's like the main thing people are saying. They're saving money, and again, that's the benefit of it. Pretty sure that like pretty soon the price will eventually go up, but again, I mean, that's better than paying $70, on a game that you might not potentially like. I mean, granted, Sony's now doing this thing where games above $35 are going to be required to give you a demo.
Yeah.
Now,
and I want to see how they pull that off, because like, is every developer going to have to be beholden? What if they can't do it?
Right.
I got questions about this thing,
Yeah, because like, are you like, because I don't remember, that's good on paper, right? That sounds awesome on paper. That you gotta try the game, but that can make or break a game type of thing. Like if the game is bad and they try it out in that demo, they ain't gonna buy the full product.
No, you're right. Yeah, whack ass demos, like, bro, that thing has killed games. Like a bad demo. Yeah. And I understand why it's a lot of things, because developers obviously, not only do they want their game to be presented in the best light, but it also takes a lot of work. People don't understand it takes a lot of work to make a demo. Yeah. That's why dudes always scrambling before E3 to get those demos ready. So I don't know how I'm more curious about it from the developers end. Like, how is it for them? Like, what do they have to go through? Just to comply with this new mandate, if that's what it is. Yeah. But for the consumer, it's obviously a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is too, how long are these like trials going to be? That's the other thing. How long are they? I mean, I doubt you're going to get an hour of playtime with a trial.
Here's the funny thing. A lot of people forgot this. PlayStation had trials back in the day for PS3, I believe. It just didn't take off. They were about an hour or so, I believe, an hour or two. So kind of interesting to bringing it back. You
think that would be enough for today's time?
It depends on the game, right? Like if it's a fighting game, yeah, but if it's like an RPG, no. So I mean, that's a whole other conversation. The RPGs never demo well to begin with, but it's true, because with an RPG you need at least a good 10-20 hours, but I don't know, man. Again, it's going to be very interesting, and you get this whole generation was just thrown off because of the pandemic, obviously, you know,
Yeah.
like around now this year is when we probably would have really started getting brand new exclusive console games now because, you know, the pandemic slowed developing down. You know, we're feeling it. As a matter of fact, think about it like this, right? But the year the pandemic happened, 2020, we didn't really feel it too much in terms of game releases, right? Because a lot of these games were already in development. It was 2021, especially this year. It's like everything's getting delayed now.
Yeah. Kind of makes
So,
me wonder.
yeah.
It's got me a little skeptical for God of War. I know the one of the devs. I think it was like one of the devs engineers. He said the game
One of
was
the,
still,
I think, yeah, one of the art directors or something.
yeah. He said it was on point. It's still coming this year, but no comment on
not.
it, right? And
Yeah.
the thing is, like I said it before, I expect this game in September. I think that will be the month that it will come out eventually, if that was the way they go about it. But you're looking at next year, you know, you got Spider-Man 2, and I don't know if Insomniac's trying to rush Wolverine or trying to like get more into Wolverine to get that closer to like 2023, 2024. But you gotta think as well, like what's dropping, you know what I mean? Like for next year for the competition as well. Like, do you think they would push that back? Because we've had
Man, I hope not. But the thing is, yeah, but you know, I think you know, dude, I would not be. I'm not gonna say it is gonna be delayed. I'm just saying I won't be surprised. Remember, it's supposed to come out last year.
That's true.
So remember that first trailer, even though all it said was Ragnarok, it said Ragnarok 2022, 2021, nothing, right? So, I'm not saying that's a complaint. I'm just not surprised anymore. So it's just hard for me, you know, and it's crazy because obviously gaming, you know, big passion of mine. It's hard for me to get excited about gaming this year because I played Elden Ring, loved it, got that other platinum, and I'm like, damn, I think I'm done for a while. There's nothing to play. There's nothing coming out, you know. And I don't really relish the thought of going to my backlog. I'm like, no, I want to play something new, man. I got this new console. I want to play new shit on it, you know.
Yeah, that's how it was for me when I platinum Elden Ring. Elden Ring took up I put too much time into that game, over 200 hours.
Oh wow, you went hard, bro.
For that platinum, oh yeah, I was all in for that game.
Yeah, and, I got the platinum too. It took me like about 107 hours or so.
Yeah,
you know,
see?
But I was mad focused on it though. That's what it was, especially towards the end.
I'm like, I'm going everywhere. I was exploring every nook and cranny, and what's cool about it, they mastered it. It's like everywhere you go, it feels like you're really finding something. You know what I mean? Something. Within the game, and it was really well done. And what kind of killed me for that game though was seeing the hate all of a sudden from software games. You know what I mean? Like from that's what killed me. I'm like, oh, why is everybody hating on this game? They're like, oh, it's easy. I'm like, okay, post your screenshot. They don't want to do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Yeah, it's just, you know, not to derail the conversation, but it's like it's kind of interesting the different types of hate Elden Ring has gotten. Because like you said, you have that one, there's a contingent that says this game is too easy, it's casual. Then you have another contingent like, yo, this game's too difficult, you know? So and then obviously, let's just be real here. Since the game is super popular, a lot of people started hating on it because of that, you know, because that's how it is. You get popular, you get heat, you know. So it's just been interesting. But to me, man, okay, personally, my favorite is still Bloodborne, right? That's what got me into But I think objectively, this is From Software's best game by far, you know. Again, like you said, you just like, okay, pick a direction and go. You're gonna find some dope. Something's gonna happen.
Yeah, you know, you might run into
it's amazing.
And one of those tree things. Or
just
man, a random boss that comes out of nowhere. You're like, oh my god, there's just so much going on. When you get to that snow area, you're like, Jesus. Like, even with the hidden path with the snow, this hidden in plain sight, you don't see. Like they did so much with that game. It's like, damn, I ain't gonna lie, I kind of don't want another From Software game to deviate from this particular style. You know what I mean? Because it kind of spoils you with what you can do in that game. The only thing I would say, I probably will want some more armor sets. But again, there was a lot already in there. But, you know.
Yeah.
I thought
it's funny you mentioned that, by the way, because that's something we discussed on Throwdown. We were like, we don't think you can go back to the old style anymore. I think every From Software game, Souls game moving forward has to be open world now. I don't think you can't go back. You can't put that genie back in there, you know? So it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, I mean, you might be able to like get away with the suspicion or the I guess the deflection of the game being open world. Like, remember how like Last of Us did that, where like you had like those tight corridors, you think you go this way, but it's like cut off, and you have those. You might be able to get away with some things, but yeah, I think now people are going to be more open to what they want with the open world style, because it's just the freedom in that game was so ridiculous. Like, you really just had. You just lost, at that time.
Yeah.
You get lost,
But the thing is, think about it, because you got the best of both worlds, right? You had the giant open world map, right? But then when you go to the castles, it's old school. You got the tight corridors and everything. You got the winding paths, the connecting like all this stuff, So that's why I'm like, and it's funny about that game, as much as I love it, it is still more of the same too. It's just bigger, So I don't think it deviated too much. Yeah.
Yeah, like this is one of those games where I don't believe you need DLC. Like Elden Ring's perfect how
even though I want it, but no, you're right. It's like there's so much,
Like there was bosses in there that I didn't even see. Like dudes are walking around with armor sets that I didn't even see in the game. I'm like, well, where'd you get that? It's like, oh, I won and fought this guy. I'm like, I didn't see that guy. Like, apparently there's a guy who's in the lava part with the dragon by the little castle. It's a guy standing there, and I never saw him.
Oh wow, yeah, no, there's I'm pretty sure like I missed so much,
So it's really, really good though. I mean, like, again, that's my personal game of the year for this year. I know a lot of people have theirs for like Horizon, which is fine, but as soon as that game was shown and we saw it win, most anticipated game, it was for a reason, and people need to understand. It was just From Software games hit different, man. I'll tell you right now,
they really do, and I'm glad the studio is really getting the recognition it deserves. If you think about it, it already has. Like, Bloodborne really started that path, Then Demon Souls 3 came out, then Sekiro, that was like 8 million sold when it originally came out. It won Game of the Year at Jeff Keighley's show. Mm-hmm. And you're right, the Elden Ring, it was twice it won like most anticipated game. So people still wanted the cry. It's like, oh, it's niche. It's not 12 million sold Elden Ring. That ain't niche. That's many things. Niche is not one of them.
Absolutely. Shout out to Big Mike. Big Mike, I'm pretty sure.
Of course, yeah. That's my dude right there. Yo, Mike, you good?
What up, Mike? Member for 15 months. He says, I think God of War Ragnarok will be holiday this year. I hope so, man. I hope so. Fingers crossed. I mean, again, you never know.
I hope so, Mike. I hope so, bro. Give me that.
Let's talk about these acquisitions, man. There's a lot going on with this consolidation of studios. I know you've been very vocal about it, and I've been vocal. How you feel about this? Like, I know a lot of people are like, what I said? I think you said this too. The last thing I will want, right, the conversation to go from is games to go, oh, I got this studio, you ain't got that. You know what I mean? I'd rather stay with the games type of thing. But now it's like really revved up because there's a leak going around that Sony is like the highest bidder or really heavily trying to get Ubisoft. How do you feel about this? I mean, personally, I don't think they need Ubisoft at this point. I would say they should put that, that money somewhere else, because Ubisoft is fine where it is, personally. But
yeah, I agree. And it's kind of interesting because I remember just a few years ago, I think it was Vivendi, right? They were trying to buy Ubisoft, and Ubisoft was trying to do everything it could to not get bought by them. But now apparently Ubisoft is looking to get bought, if I understand the story correctly, right? So I'm like, okay, that's kind of interesting. I don't know where the Sony connection is coming from. Maybe it's people going, okay, Sony obviously wants to buy more. Ubisoft on sale, so maybe that's why people are coming to that conclusion. I'm not going to go that far. If you listen to Throwdown, I don't speculate, right? Unless I got really good, strong evidence. But yeah, I personally would like Ubisoft to remain Ubisoft.
I agree.
As far as studio acquisitions go, I have like a mixed like feelings on it, because like I don't think it's too bad when like smaller studios kind of get incorporated into bigger ones, especially if they need it. Mm-hmm. And even sometimes like you have the Bethesda's bought thing that was all right. Bungie was pretty interesting, and this is not going to happen. I'm just exaggerating just for effect right now, but it's like you don't want just 5 video game companies. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, but then again, this is not the world of video games, but it's like, how many like banks do you have? Like, like credit cards. Think about this: credit cards. Name more than 4. You can't. There's only 4 of them. Mm-hmm. So it would be very upsetting if we basically just had like 4 video game manufacturers just for the sake of argument, and then a bunch of littler studios under them. I don't know if it's going to get to that point, but just the fact that even the FTC was like, "Yo, Microsoft, what are you doing?" Even they're investigating. So I don't know how far they're going to go, but think about it. Even if you have 4 companies, just for the sake of an argument, that's still technically not a monopoly.
Yeah.
Therefore legal. So we'll see. And then the other aspect is this is for the West, because Japan doesn't go by those rules. They do mergers there. That's why you have things like Square Enix, Sega Sammy, Bandai Namco. They don't, you know what I'm saying? And because the reason I bring this up is because some people say Microsoft is going to buy Sega. They don't allow that in Japan. You can't have a foreign entity buying a major Japanese company. You could buy smaller ones, right? Bethesda bought Tango Frameworks, I believe that's the name. What Shinji Mikami's company. But that was because he was just a kind of the sole owner or whatever. But like a major company like Konami or Sega, you're not going to see that happening with a Western company buying them up. But Western companies themselves seems to be just like, all right, so free for all, let's go. And you're right. Now we're seeing the conversation, within the gaming community shift to who's getting bought next, who needs to be bought, all this stuff. It's like, yo, I get that. That could be exciting in some aspects, but we're not talking about the games right now.
Like you can have all the studios in the one, but if you have a bunch of games that are 7 years out, what good are you for me?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you might say you're good for next generation. Like, for example, the Call of Duty, the Activision buyout, right? It was a big deal, obviously. And I actually thought low key they were not going to put those games on PlayStation, the Call of Duty ones. I'm like, okay, they got the biggest ace card to go, hey, Sony, you want this on PlayStation? Put Game Pass on PlayStation. That's why I thought they were going to do this. Like, nah, we're going to main opens. I'm like, But again, they might be saying that until the deal's done. And then,
you're right. The hammer comes down. Dude, I was with you. I was shocked. Shocked when I heard that, because I thought they were going to pull what they did with Bethesda, right? They were like, no, those games are staying over here. But they're actually letting Call of Duty go to Sony. But here's what I suspect, right? This is back like in the 360 days. Remember, even the PS4 era too, where the Call of Duty would release on everything, but the preferred console would get the exclusives for like 3 months or whatever, right?
Yeah, all the good
and also think about
all the good stuff. Yeah,
and then what better incentive is it to get it on Xbox than this? All right, get the game on PlayStation, Call of Duty 5 or whatever,
like
7
or something.
Yeah, get it on PlayStation for $70, or get it on Game Pass for $15 a month, right?
All DLC included.
So even if
discount on DLC,
that's what I'm saying. So even if Microsoft is selling it on all these platforms, they still want you to buy it on their ecosystem, and that's how they're going to do it.
Especially with the because again, the reason why we had this mindset, especially because of the Bethesda thing, because Doom is such a big deal. Like Doom just really came in left field with this all with the PS4. So I'm like, okay, Doom might do it, but they know that's ours. So now you add that with Doom, you add that with Elder Scrolls, you add that with what else other games they got over there? They got the obviously the Call of Duty, they got the good God, there's so many damn games.
Yeah, it's a lot of games. Well, I mean, Activision, you get Blizzard, you get World of Warcraft and all that other stuff.
Yeah. So that's good, I guess, but that's crazy. I don't even know what to say at this point.
Yeah. But but the thing is, Sony has to be strategic about it, because they can't match Microsoft dollar for dollar, obviously.
Yeah.
Right. So, but at the same time, they apparently do have a pretty big war chest. I believe it's like 10 billion available at the moment to buy studios if they so choose.
Yeah.
So they could afford a Bethesda. Basically, they could afford a Ubisoft. But at the same time,
I think it's more Capcom, to be honest. I would say Capcom will be more up there.
But again, here's the thing: Sony is a Japanese company, so is Capcom. But it'll be because Capcom, a lot of people know, is still a family-owned business, not a conglomerate. It's owned by the family that started it.
Yeah. They were they formed a capital alliance, if I remember correctly, with Bloodborne developer too. Where they bought into their stock. So I see them preparing themselves for the longer haul with the future. Just the question is like, is this it? You know, like, are you gonna buy this one? Are you gonna do that? And again, it's up in the air at that point. But can they match Microsoft dollar for dollar? I mean,
absolutely not.
They can't.
They can't. They can't.
Dropped $70 billion.
Just because
lost they lose out to sleep. So
no, they don't. And I remember people say like, "Oh, they need to make that money back." No, they don't. They don't need to do it right away. Right? This is Microsoft. That's like you having like $700 in your pocket and you got to spend $7. What do you care? You know?
Pretty much, yeah. Call of Duty will print money by itself. It makes how many billions a year? Now,
I don't even know, but it's a lot,
But I do see this though, and I think a lot of people should really think about this too. With them doing this, do unionization, I can see better things coming to like Activision, like better policies and better leadership this time around. Because Bobby Kotick wasn't the greatest for this company. He didn't really have a long-term vision, I would say, for what they wanted.
No.
You know what I mean? He didn't think it through. He just thought, okay, money, instead of quality. The money will print itself with Call of Duty if you
pretty
put
much.
the quality into the games. So hopefully that leads to it with it. But that's right.
The other thing I'm really interested in because remember, it was interesting because Activision in the past, Microsoft tried to buy them and they were like, nah, we're good. Right now, this time it was the other way around. Right. They were shopping themselves out all because of that controversy that was going on. So I'm interested to see how Microsoft will clean up Activision.
Yeah.
I still believe once everything is set, because remember, it hasn't been finalized yet. Once everything's set in stone, Bobby Kotick is out, bro. I think that's it. I mean, one way or another, he's already doing that, you know. So he's either going to be given a window seat or he's just, you know, going to be like, okay, I think I'm going to retire something. Because all that bad press, Microsoft doesn't want that stink on them, you know.
Yeah, I agree.
It's wild, bro. It is wild.
Dude, cameras in the bathroom, females' bathrooms. Like, dude, that right there just threw me through a loop. Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, okay, there's clearly there's some new leadership needed here.
Bro, Jesus Christ.
All right, so we talked about the acquisitions. Let's talk about the Throwdown Show, man. Throwdown Show. A lot of history with this. 3 years running, you know, back when we had the good old hangout.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we were on Hangouts back then. You remember that, yeah. But yeah, it's pretty wild, man. Throwdown this iteration, because, you know, Throwdown actually goes back to 2012, man. Like, that's how, like, the original version of it. That's crazy. It's going to be 10 years. Just realize that. But this iteration, we started in 2014, September 2014, when we moved over to the Coalition. We were still independent, though, but it's been running strong. We're like up to episode. We do 2 shows a week. The main Throwdown show on Thursday, and then a Throwdown show on Throwdown Your Questions, on Sunday. And both episodes are going to be reaching 381 like this weekend. So we're keeping strong. So we're going to be celebrating episode 400 in early September for both of them, man.
Jesus, 400 episode. Where does the time go?
Isn't that something, man? It's great. That's 800 collectively, if you think about it. It is wild, dude.
Oh man, there you go, man. Throwdown. Make sure you guys check out Throwdown, man. It's a good show. That always
man. Yeah, that's the passion project right there. I don't really make much money off of it. I don't make a living off of that. I do that purely for fun, you know, because just me hanging out with the fellas and the fans, just talking about games. It's fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. So how you feel about this? I don't think I saw you. Well, I did saw your reaction, but I don't think I saw it all the way. That Max Payne coming back.
Yeah.
1 and 2. Now, the reason why I brought this up, because censorship, I think this game might not be all the way as gory as we thought it was. You know what I mean? I don't think they'll do it, especially with the baby and everything. But the new era, I think they'll tone down some stuff, man. What's your thought?
I don't know, like, because America's an interesting place, by the way. It's like, you know, violence all day, every day, but then when it comes to sexual stuff, we're a little like, you know. So I think they may tone down some of the sexual elements of violence. I think they may keep it around. But the first 2, actually, I'll be honest, man. I don't really have much history with any of the Max Payne games. The original ones I always felt controlled weird because I wasn't used to analog sticks back then. I'm like, what the fuck is this? You know, that's also the reason I couldn't play Halo originally. I'm like, what the? You got to use 2 sticks to move a character? This is stupid. You know, it wasn't until like the PS3 generation where like every game was a first person shooting game, so I had to get used to it. You know, and ironically enough, when I went back to play Halo, it's like, oh, this is simple. You know, because it was too complicated when I first played it. But yeah, pretty cool about Max Payne. But again, we're seeing a lot of remakes and remasters just because of the fact that we don't have any new games to play. You know, I'll play them obviously just to check them out, get the history there. And it's funny because I do own Max Payne 3, but I've never gotten around to playing it. But yeah, I don't really have. It's funny that game. Either people hate it or they fucking love it. You know,
what, 3?
Yeah, 3. Yeah.
Oh, 3 is really, really good. It's really good, insanely good.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't really have much to say about that. I don't really have strong feelings about it. That's cool, but just a lot of remasters we're getting, a lot of them.
But back on that, you know, paying for remakes or remasters.
Yeah.
Director's cut. That seemed like the cop out for a minute, didn't it? Just putting that on the title for these games. We saw it with Death Stranding. Did you fall for it? Did you buy back into Death Stranding for that director's cut? For
the no, I got that game for review, so I didn't have to play. But I knew what director's cut is. Just a fancy way of saying Game of the Year edition. That's all it is.
Yeah,
you know, and it made sense director's cut because it's Kojima. He loves movies, so that's why they called it that.
Yeah, more than that though. I mean, because we got it with Ghost of Tsushima. Got one.
That's right. Yeah. So I think that was like Sony's kind of thing. You know, it's like director's cut. But it's just a Game of the Year edition. It's just a special edition. That's all it is. But no, Death Stranding was cool. You know, I like the game. I know a lot of people didn't. I really enjoyed it. Ghost of Tsushima was actually my game of the year in 2020. The game was fantastic. Love that game. And the Iki Island expansion was solid. That was really good. Yeah, I love how it was basically like the main game just shrunken into a little experience, you know, because you get the same kind of journey and all that, just in a smaller bite-sized portion of it, you know.
Plus, they managed to throw multiplayer in it and actually make it work, and it was well received. So they definitely experimented well with Ghost of Tsushima. The thing too, though, you know, with these with these director's cuts.
Director's cuts, yeah.
Funny thing is, though, the moment we started seeing that, that's when the announcement of the remake for Last of Us 1. Now, you already know I love The Last of Us 1. I know you love The Last of Us 1, but did anybody ask for a remake of this first one? Like,
it was weird because remember we already had a remake of this game.
Yeah, or remaster.
We had one. Yeah, remasters. It's like, what are we? So is this a remaster or a remake? Like, what are we doing here? And by the way, I have a theory about that. I think this game will probably come out when the TV show comes out. They're gonna coincide. Watch, you know.
I said this with Lauren from IGN, and I had a fear about that. I'm glad you brought that up because I figured, you know, because you know how they do with these the definitive editions or remakes, they make the character models look different. Because remember how they did with Spider-Man? They changed it from that version to like that new realistic look for Peter. Do you think they'll alter the look for Joel and Ellie to look like the TV show a little bit?
Ooh, I don't think so. Just because they're so iconic, the characters.
Make them look close. Get them,
and the show. But seriously, I would have said yes if the show was popular, but the show's not even out yet. Yeah. But yeah, I don't think they're going to change them because again, they're so iconic, and the game came out not too long ago. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. But I don't know if I want to dive back in there again. I like the first game, but that game was depressing, bro. I don't know if I want to do that to myself again.
But part 1 or 2?
Both of them. You know, it's a lot.
Part
you know,
1 gets depressing, but it gets kind of like it gets like a little redemption towards the end. But now it's depressing when you find out in part 2. It's like the whole thing is all for nothing. What kind of goes against the message of the game, because that was the message. It can't be for nothing. So being for nothing in the end with part 2.
About part 2. I like half the game. I think you can guess which half. You know,
that's how it was. They got me with that. They got me with the second.
They got all of us, man.
I'm like,
I'll stop because I could go off on a rant.
The funny thing is, we always kind of get into like a last one. I mean, some people might say, "Well, that's because the game's good because you guys are talking about." I'm like, if we're talking about like this, it ain't that good the way you talk
Yeah. This is not about games, but it just reminds me of somebody said this, and I agree with them. It's like the Lord of the Rings trilogy, right? The Peter Jackson movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Probably the best trilogy out there. Like just how well done it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
We don't talk about it. Why? Because it was so well done. There's nothing more to say, right?
Yeah.
But if it was bad, we talk about The Hobbit more. Think about that, because I was trash.
See.
So that's what it is. It's like we don't talk about that just because how well done it is,
What up,
victim
Dutch?
of your own success.
Yeah, it's that right there, man. Move on from that.
Move on.
Sorry, chat. Let's move on for Last of Us 2.
All right.
I gotta ask you, man. What are you most anticipating for the Xbox, man? I know you play everything. I can guarantee you play everything. So what are you excited for the Xbox? Is Avowed your game of the year or your game you're looking forward to? Or are you on the Starfield camp?
In Starfield, that's going to be dope. I just hope the game works. That's my main thing because, Bethesda have a love-hate relationship with their games. I like the concept, like the design, cannot stand the bugs, But I think Starfield, kind of the default one because that's all they kind of have as far as like brand new games. But I'm a big sci-fi guy, love that stuff. So if they can actually make like an open world space game, I'm there, and it works too. So that's probably the main one, but that's about it. Because you have like, was it Redfall? I believe it is like some multiplayer game. I don't really care about that. Avowed could be cool. I need to see more of it though. And then Fable, who knows when that's coming out?
No, you got high hopes for Fable.
Yeah, right. But we'll see. But yeah, no, Starfield is probably the game I'm most looking forward to on Xbox, or in my case on PC, because I don't even own an Xbox. I'm like, I could just buy these games on my PC, So I don't
same here. Like
I don't miss out, basically,
Yeah, everything goes on the rig. Just pop on those.
Yes. There you go. You go. But that's gonna be dope. November, I believe, right? Yeah, November 11th or 17th, something like that.
I see a lot of people get like, well, I don't want to say they got false hopes, but a lot of people got like high hopes, so to speak, for the game, like what it can do. I haven't seen no gameplay, so it's hard for me to judge it. Like, that's the only thing. Like your idea of what it could be vastly different from when you see it in live. You know what I mean? Like, and that's where it is. Like, I had different perspectives on how I thought like Spider-Man was going to look in the 2018 joint, and then it just ended up blowing our mind. So, I mean, it's possible to be blown away.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, so that's what's going on there. And then because I'm pretty sure you're going to ask about PlayStation. Obviously God of War Ragnarok, because I thought I replayed the 2018 game because it came out on PC this year. Mm-hmm. I was like, bro, yo, it reminded me of why it was so good. So if this new game is on that level, oh my God, man, it's going to be nuts. Especially the way. Yeah.
A lot of people feel different, but I'm a little bummed for Ragnarok, just a little bit, because it's ending the Norse mythology immediately. That's the only thing. I thought it was going to be a 3-parter.
That's what I thought too. I was very weird by that, and I wonder like where they're going to go to another pantheon after this.
I think it's Egypt.
Egypt, okay.
Yeah.
But because obviously the Egypt does exist in that world. You saw it in that treasure room in this first game. 2018 game. It's like, okay, this is dope. Could be cool. But yeah, one more would have been nice. But we get to see Kratos versus Thor, so can't complain about that.
Still the most badass ending for a
game.
I
was like, bro,
when he shows up and you see Mjolnir, like, okay, I'm sold on part 2. That's gonna be fun. When we
like, it's gonna be dope. I want to see Odin. I want to see all those cats.
Yeah, a lot of people saying Odin was Tyr.
Could be
like it was like him disguised as Tyr or something. I'm like, listen, don't tease me like this. Let's just play the game. I just wait for the game to drop. I want to see it. Shout out to John the Down with the 10. He said, shout out to Tony Polanco. Got a question. How did you feel about Yakuza? Like a Dragon switch from beat 'em up to turn based, and when do you expect Yakuza 8 to be shown?
All right. If you've seen my like tweets and stuff, like, dude, that was my game of the summer, bro. Because I did jump on that late. I love that game. It was great. And it's funny because when they announced the switch over, I was like, cool. Because think about it like this, right? I love beat 'em ups. I love RPGs. This is both of them in one. And I love how the game, even though it is turn-based, it fits the turn-based combat fits the Yakuza style. Yeah. So I never felt like it was off or anything. It married it. And now, and this is how genius the studio is, right? The like a Dragon studio, you have the new style of Yakuza with like a dragon, and then you have Judgment for the old school who want the straight up beat 'em up. So I'm like, so we're not losing nothing here. You know, we get our classic beat 'em up, you know, Streets of Rage type of stuff, and you get the turn based stuff. So I'm with it. I have no problem with it at all. I think it's great. And Yakuza, like a Dragon, was one of my favorite games of last gen. It's great.
Okay. Anyways, oh my god, y'all would bring up DLC when we mention Rack. Let's not do this. We ain't trying to go down that rabbit. Oh Lord, that was a different.
We're not getting into that. We're not.
So I'm not even gonna get into that. Oof.
No. We're good. We're good. I know people on the internet love drama. No. We're good.
We ain't doing that. It's us. Move away from that. That shit should turn into a 2-part podcast. Right? Not tonight. not tonight. So you said Ragnarok's, you know, your go-to. Now I gotta ask you, what's your upcoming? What's the number one? Is it Wolverine out of everything on the PlayStation list, or do you have your eyes do you have high expectations for Haven Studios with Jade Raymond? And
I don't know what to.
You don't know?
Here's the thing about Jade Raymond, man. How do I say this? Aside from Assassin's Creed, she hasn't produced anything, right? Yeah. I'm not trying to diss her. She just doesn't have the track record that lets me go, okay, I need to be excited about what she's doing. This is not like Amy Hennig. I am excited about
Amy
that.
Hennig is,
you know? Yeah. Her on Star Wars, I remember this is her second chance, right? She was supposed to do one for EA that fell through. Yeah. This, bro, that's going to be legit. You know, so I'm about that. So Behaving, I don't know. I can't say anything about that. And then as Wolverine, I love Wolverine. I don't know what the gameplay is going to be. I don't know. And I want to know how violent are they going to get, because my gold standard for Wolverine is X-Men Origins. Movie was trash. The game was awesome. It was fantastic.
You lost me there. I thought you were gonna go. Yeah. My ideal Wolverine would be Logan. Yeah. That type of violence.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about the gameplay. The gameplay. Yeah. Like if you play Wolverine, like dude, he's hacking off limbs. You see blood flying everywhere, and that game has such a dope progression because if you fought a certain type of enemy and long enough, you'll beat them like nothing because Wolverine has learned how to defeat him. I'm like, how hasn't an RPG stolen this mechanic? This is awesome. Yeah. You know, so it has to be on that level for me. Like I want to see blood flying. I want to see guts. I want to see everything, you know, but I don't know how hard, you know, they're going to go. So we're not sure, but out of those games, the one I could be most excited for is Spider-Man 2, because I know what I'm going to get with that one. I know it's going to be solid. Yeah, and you get two characters in one, basically. Yeah. Peter Parker and Miles Morales. Get out of here. It's going to be dope.
Double, like, I'm expecting something similar to Arkham. Remember, like, Arkham had the double team takedowns and it switched to the other character during combat. I expect something like that. That would be pretty cool to incorporate with the game, too. But I'm really excited for Venom, dude. I think Venom's going to be, like, the real game changer.
That's going to be legit.
The character. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Dude,
that's my homie right there, man.
That threw me off guard with Tony Todd. Like, come on,
Tony Todd, man. Jeez. Yeah, no, that's gonna be dope. So yeah, but again, you know, I would love to name more games, but the pickings are a little slim right now.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, that's why we have the third party. Like for example, I'm still shocked Sony didn't purchase these guys, but Quantic Dream is making a Star Wars game. After what they did with Detroit, I'm very interested in what they're going to do. Now, is it going to be the same style like it's Detroit when you're walking around? Let's say it's going to have like those sections where it's like open, you know, like the open world-esque exploring stuff. But they also have a separate team helping them with the lightsaber combat. So I think this might be their breakout. I mean, what's your thoughts on Quantic Dream?
I mean, this is maybe controversial to say, but I like Quantic Dream. I liked their games. I know there's some issues going on behind the scenes with the studio. I understand that, but just speaking about the games, I think they're great, man. I really like Detroit Become Human. As ham-fisted as some of this stuff could be, I really dug that. I like Heavy Rain. I liked, Beyond Two Souls. Great stuff. So
good until it got to the desert.
yeah. But yeah, by the way, it's interesting with Star Wars, right? So we have Quantic Dream, right? They're coming out with a Star Wars game. Amy Hennig Studios coming out with a Star Wars game. Then we have 3 Star Wars games from Respawn, right? So I'm like, yo, that's a lot of Star Wars. So, ooh, yo, Jedi Fallen Order, man. That's the game I admittedly slept on because it came out at a time. Yeah, and I'll explain myself. You'll understand. Hopefully, it came out at a time right after. I believe it was after The Last Jedi, right? That movie was so
okay.
That movie was so bad. I'm like, I'm done with Star Wars. This is trash. These people don't know what the hell they're doing. This is awful, right? But a year later, Mandalorian comes out. I'm like, yo, this is dope. This is why I love Star Wars. And I was interested again. I'm like, hey, Fallen Order is like on sale for $10, right? It was the end of the year. I'm like, let me buy this. I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. You know, it's like a game tailor-made for me. Big cinematic, like cutscenes, crazy action, dope story. I'm like, okay, this is dope, you know? And it was like a Souls game a little bit. You could tell they borrowed it heavily. So for this one, give me that, you know? And then obviously later I would find out that the director was my boy Stig Asmussen, right, from God of War 3. I'm like, okay, this is why I like this game. You know, they got the Dream Team on it. So they got that one, and then they have 2 other games. I forgot what type of games. I know there's supposed to be different types of Star Wars games, but if you like the George Lucas's universe, you're gonna be very, very happy the coming future. We don't know when these games are gonna drop.
Yeah, like I'm surprised we don't see this type of well, I mean we're kind of starting to see it. I mean we did get Marvel's Avengers, but it wasn't good, and it sucks because they had that good Black Panther expansion that's tied to that game, and that was actually really good. I'm surprised we didn't get a Black Panther game. That'd have been much better than what we got there. But we also got, obviously, Spider-Man, we got Wolverine, but where in God's name is Spawn? How come Spawn doesn't have a game? After that Mortal Kombat reveal? Come on, you can't tell me you don't want a Spawn game after that.
Wasn't there a Spawn game back in the day? Could have sworn there was. Like I want to say it was a fighting game, you know?
Yeah.
Let me look this up because I could have sworn there was
He was in Mortal Kombat. That was about it.
I know he was in Mortal Kombat. There it is. I knew it was a Spawn video game for the Super Nintendo. Yeah. So there you go. And there was also Spawn Armageddon on PS2. So yeah, Spawn has but you're right. It's like in recent years, don't love there. But I was expect because I know they've been working on a Spawn game forever. I mean, Spawn movie, a new movie for a long time. But who knows when that serves? But if it does, I'm going to assume they're going to come out with a video game tie-in. Yeah.
So yeah.
But yeah, Spawn was so that I collected all like the first 100 issues of those comics back in the day, man. Back in the day, especially in the 90s, big comic book guy. I still love comics, even though they kind of fallen off recently. But that's a whole other topic.
First, you still had the movie too.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, man, with Michael Jai White.
Oh yeah, which is supposed to have a remake. I think Jamie Foxx is playing Spawn.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yeah, that was going around.
It's crazy about Jamie Foxx, man. Like this dude has played so many roles over the years. Serious roles. I still see him as Wanda from In Living Color. He's still that to me, So it's like you gotta think,
Charles.
Yeah, he did. That's what I'm saying. Like he's played legitimate, dramatic roles. The guy's a great actor, but I still see him as Wanda. I can't get that image out of my head, man.
I know you saw Far From Home, right?
I saw Far From Home. No Way Home. In No Way Home, yeah.
He was. I ain't gonna lie, they nailed everybody in No Way Home.
Yeah,
everybody was awesome.
Yeah,
and so they kind of, in a weird way, they fixed the Rami verse because they're talking about making more of those, and I guess bringing them back together at another point. So that's gonna be interesting how they do it because right now, Doctor Strange, this is like the movie to watch. Apparently, like I'm hearing X-Men are legit in here. So
don't you think it's sad that people are getting excited over X-Men more than Doctor Strange?
No, they're excited.
You know what I'm saying?
They're excited for Doctor Strange. I'm pretty sure because you know what it is. It's the evil Wanda. That's what they want. They want to see evil Wanda. Too.
I tweeted about this. Not to change the topic. I know it's a video game podcast, but I was tweeting about this either today or yesterday. I don't know when I said it. But I was like, I think I'm done with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, man.
No way.
I'm tired of it. Like, I know people love No Way Home, but to me, I'm like, really? This is what this movie is. It's just, hey, remember these Spider-Man movies? I'm like, come on, we just ran out of ideas, man. And just the shows that have been coming on Disney, I haven't been feeling them. I liked Falcon and Winter Soldier until they messed up the end. I didn't like WandaVision. I really didn't like Loki.
Wow, I'm surprised you like Loki.
No, I didn't like that. And then I'm just running through. Black Widow was bad. I didn't care for her. I didn't bother with that.
Black Widow was terrible. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't like Shang-Chi either. Oh, I haven't liked any Phase 4 anything, man.
I'm shocked. Not one hit out of all these. I heard a lot of good things from me, especially Shang-Chi. Not one.
No, I don't like. I didn't
Blade?
like.
Even though it's gonna be, I think it's TV.
Well, I'm talking about what we've seen so far. Yeah. We'll see. Hopefully things are around. But yeah, like I'm seeing this new Doctor Strange movie, right? The trailers. I'm like, I think I'm done, man. It's just so bad,
I mean, it was. To be fair, it was going to be impossible for him to like really like get us again, like they did with like the first. You know what I mean? The first saga, because the first saga had the perfect villain with Thanos.
Yeah, like the end game, that was the end of the MCU because like this new Doctor Strange movie feels like it's just exists. No, it exists to plug other movies. That's what it feels like. It doesn't feel like it's its own thing. It's just like, hey, here's this new show. Here's this new movie. I don't know, man. And I think, and it's funny because now the movies are doing this multiverse stuff, which I originally liked in the comic until it got stupid. Now it's just bad in the movies too. To me, it's lazy writing. It's like, hey, remember this guy? Remember this guy? The new Flash movie, they're gonna have all these different Batmans and stuff. I'm like, come on, guys, come on. This is what we're doing. It's all member berries, as we call it on Throwdown.
I mean,
but again, if people like that, that's cool. That's fantastic. Yeah. No hate. For me, I'm done for now.
The way they're doing it, like again, the way they're doing it, and the way they're trying to like make it like make sense. I would be surprised if DC goes full out and tries to get like. I mean, they already got Michael Keaton coming back to play Batman, but I wouldn't be surprised they reach out to like Christian Bale. Christian Bale or Ben Affleck and everybody, and ask them to replay the roles again.
I don't know. By the way, kind of interested Michael Keaton's in the MCU and DC, right? Because he's Adrian Toomes, right? In the Spider-Man movies, and then he's Batman.
I mean, crazy. Come on, this is Michael Keaton. The dude's a badass. Like the dude.
Oh yeah. The dude's awesome.
He took a character that all of us laugh at on a regular. It was like, oh, who cares about Vulture? This dude made Vulture into a damn savage. You're like, damn, that dude's dope.
No, for real, man. Shout out to Michael Keaton, man.
So he can make anything look anything good at that point. And good God, there's so many things, so many characters that can be brought back here. Like I'm hearing people saying that it was Galactus. They think Galactus would be a part of the
maybe he won't be a cloud this time. Remember that trash?
That's not pretend.
Oh, like no, we don't need that.
A cloud that eats planets, not a human, not a humanoid god that crushes planets and absorbs the energy.
That was bad. The only good thing about those movies was Jessica Alba, and that's all I'm going to say about that.
She was cool until she got intolerable in part 2. I'll tell you.
Yeah, I just liked seeing her in the costume. That's all I was there for.
There you go. Oh man, they were showing me. I don't know if you saw that Shattered Grid. You read the comic for that? Did you read that? Shattered Grid.
Shattered Grid was that Fantastic Four?
That was for bro. It was like the. So like we had like the mature rated Power Ranger movie that came out not too long ago. It was like a short film. You ever seen that before?
What?
It was
no.
You never seen that? It was like blood, guts, everything. It was like legit.
Power Rangers?
Yeah, it was Power Rangers. It was a legit short film. It's really well received. It was like the adult version of. Look it up. Look up Power Rangers short film. It's ridiculous. So I'm looking at this. So Shattered Grid is a Power Rangers comic book. Yeah.
Okay, I guess I should.
Was inspired basically off of that mature type of rating, but it's also like in the first season with the Mighty Morphin when Tommy joins the group, he goes back to Rita and he becomes a tyrant, and it's
wow, okay, interesting.
And he becomes a god, and rules the grid in that comic.
Wow,
the issue. It's pretty dope. Now I thought you would know about. I'm like, damn, does he read Shattered Grid? Like, maybe Shattered Grid.
No, because I've never read a single Power Rangers comic. I knew they existed, but I'm like, I'm good.
Look at Comic Historian if you wanna. He'll put all that right. But it's pretty dope. But no, we covered everything. Not much going on. I mean, it's a real dry. I just want to talk about the VRR. You care about that VR?
I mean, like VR is cool. Like on PC, I've been using that, or different versions of it, just like G-Sync and all this other stuff. So it's just interesting how Sony PlayStation just finally got it. But the interesting thing is the games aren't going to automatically work with it. They have to be patched. But I haven't really played any games that are like, oh my god, this frame rate is terrible, or whatever. Like it's been pretty well. PlayStation 5 games are generally pretty well done. But it's good to have the feature there regardless. I haven't played any of VRR games at the moment, so I can't test it out myself or speak on it. But I think it's pretty interesting that it's there. It's just wild that it took so long,
Yeah. See you guys in the chat saying Tony is smarter than Bruce, or Bruce. It's not. I wouldn't say it's a stalemate. I would definitely say Tony Stark's smarter than Bruce Wayne. He can make different types of armors, for God's sake, different type of situations.
You know what it is? It's different kinds of smart, right? Mm-hmm. Like Tony Stark could build more technology and better stuff, but Batman is more wily, Okay. Because think about it, like, Tony Stark, at the end of the day, he's a dude in a suit, right? So he doesn't have to be as careful, like in combat or something. Batman, he's armored up. Don't get me wrong, but he's more savvy. He's more about the streets. He knows what's up, so he can think outside the box.
So let me ask you this.
I asked you that before that. Who's richer? That's what I want to know.
Stark, probably.
Probably Stark. Yeah.
Anyway, both of them. It would be
Lex Luthor,
Black Panther.
Yeah, Black Panther. Yeah, because he owns a country. Anyway, my bad. What were you gonna ask me?
I was gonna ask you. Do you see Batman, the new Batman movie?
Yeah, it's funny because I said that I was kind of experiencing superhero fatigue. That's one of the exceptions, because when I first saw it, I'm like, that was good. That was a good movie. But then the more I thought about it, I'm like, that was really
it's really grounded. Like I was thinking it was going to be over the top. Like when we first saw like the Batmobile being like a Mustang with like a jet engine on it. I'm like, I don't know. And then when we see it, like, okay, you know what? That was pretty badass. This whole setup was pretty badass. And it's
but I will say though, I didn't realize I needed that little bit of over the topness in my Batman until I saw this movie. Because this movie, like you said, was super grounded. I'm like, I need more gadgets. I need more over the top. Not like Adam West like Batman, but forever, like when I saw it, I'm like, oh, that's when I realized, the Nolan movies struck that perfect middle ground where they're grounded, but they're also kind of out there, right? And I also didn't like when Batman, this dude has such a presence, right? When he can hang out with the Justice League, you got gods and monsters. He's the guy that stands out the most because of his presence. I didn't get that sense from him in this game. In this movie, he just felt like a dude in a he just felt like it was a dude cosplaying or something.
I said this with the cowl, like the way the helmet, like the cowl and everything, like it looked okay for some shots, right? But when you get further throughout that movie, you're like, this is not the perfect look for Batman. But again, I look at it as a prototype, and maybe it'll be more better in the sequel when he gets even more better on the street. But from what we saw, like, even with the shots of him coming out the darkness, they nailed all those shots. I'm like, this is really good. Like you hear those light footsteps, and they get louder and louder. And he starts coming out. Like, okay. This is good, but at the same time, it's like, is this the best Batman movie I've ever seen? I'll say it's definitely up there with some of the best.
No, it's good. I don't know. I just want him to feel more mythological. I think the fact that he was hanging out with people too much was throwing me off. At the end, he's like a firefighter. I'm like, you're Batman. You kick people's ass and you leave. You don't hang out and rescue people like that with the daylight. I'm like, that's a little weird for me. Just hanging out with the cops like that. I'm like, I don't know. I kind of just, Batman. To me, it always seems like if you're a regular person, you're only supposed to catch glimpses of him. You're not supposed to actually fully see him. So it's just that threw me off. But at the same time, it was a very well done movie, very tight script. I liked how the plots all came together, very detective focused. That was really good.
Yeah, it's kind of like Seven. Remember movie Seven?
Yeah.
That's why I got the vibes with the Riddler and everything.
Yeah.
I'm getting Seven vibes. I like that, where it's like Gotham is like scary here. It's not like this like
I love Gotham in this movie. I will say I love their interpretation of Gotham. It wasn't just like, hey, here's New York, oh, here's Chicago. It's like
pretty structured.
This is
okay.
Yeah. Like, and that's another thing I liked about Batman Begins.
Yeah.
That's not a real city. You could tell it's like, okay, it's just a mishmash of different places, right?
Yeah.
And it felt like its own thing, right? And then the second one, they were in Chicago, like, okay, this is Chicago. Third one, they were in New York. It was clear New York, right? But I like the first Batman Begins. And then this one, I'm like, oh, okay, this is cool. This feels like a city that doesn't exist, but also feels like every city you've been to, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, like Tim Burton clearly made those crazy over the top model like cities where it looked like castles and it looked cool for the time.
It looked cool,
but it doesn't age well. Like even if you look back at like Batman and Robin, remember how like Gotham had like these ridiculous god-like statues in the city.
That's right.
Who the hell will put this in the city? But they had that as the city, and you have this like, dude, Gotham. I loved it, especially the twist with Riddler. That was an awesome twist.
Yeah, that was great. I liked it.
I just like about the reveal though, a certain reveal. I ain't gonna say what it is, but I'm talking about the end.
Oh, that was cool. I like that. We learned about it after the fact. We didn't see it during the movie, but that was cool. I like that. I enjoyed that a lot. Even though I know some people, they're like, oh, you're using that character too much. I don't have a problem with it. I'm good.
I mean, every version of the world or iteration needs their version of it. I'll say that.
But I do understand what they're saying. It's like within the last 10 years, we've had 3 actors playing this role.
Yeah.
Right?
Sad.
But then again, we've done that with Batman as well, so I don't know.
So I'm guessing we're going to probably go back down the same road and have Bane maybe come back for part 2. I kind of want to see something more serious. I want to see like a Killer Croc in this scary Gotham. Where
that'd be dope.
I'd like to see something like that, or how about Man-Bat?
Yeah, Man-Bat would be cool. Mr. Freeze, I want to see like a real, not Arnold Schwarzenegger, like a proper scary Mr. Freeze.
You think Robert's world can support a Mr. Freeze? Like it calls for a Mr. Freeze? Like how?
I don't. That might be a little too much.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. They made it too grounded to where it's like, I don't believe certain characters like that. I mean, you can say Scarecrow, but again, we're going down similar tropes.
You could definitely have Victor Zsasz. You could do that because he could definitely fit in that world.
I could definitely see Zsasz. Man, it's a lot of characters you can go for. I would definitely say Hugo Strange is another one.
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah,
or Ra's al Ghul, Talia.
I don't know if they're gonna do that right away, just because of the original trilogy. Yeah. You know what I mean? But that would be good too, because he's another more grounded character. I mean, you got the Lazarus Pit, so I don't know how they're gonna portray that, but yeah.
I don't know. It might be a serum.
Yeah.
Oh, alrighty, man. So we're at that end pretty much. Yeah. Tony, man, you already know it's always a pleasure. Talk some game with you. I know it's not a lot to go over, so but this is us hanging out. It's been too long, dude. It's like 3 years I've talked to you on this mic. And
no, for real, man. But again, it's like we have that rapport, so it's just like nothing's changed. You know what I'm saying? But that's what's up, and I want to thank you for having me on, and obviously I want to give you a big shout out for keep doing your thing, and for being positive, because there's a lot of negativity out there right now. So it's really good to see you maintain that energy, your community as well, and that's what we need more of, man. There's a lot of negativity out there. We got to tamper it down a little bit. I know I could be negative myself, but I do try to present the best light, especially for people like us. Let's be real here, blacks and Hispanics. We want to present the best version of ourselves as we can, while keeping it real, obviously.
Yep.
So shout out to you, my friend. That's what I want to say. Shout out to you.
Nah, I appreciate it, man. It's always fun, man. It's always fun having you on here. We definitely will get you on RGT one of these weeks. I know we got work that schedule for it.
We got to work that schedule. Yeah,
definitely. But we'll definitely we'll figure something else for you for sure. Guys, Friday, you already know, RGT podcast. Gonna be a laid back again show because it's light on the news. But next week, Oh boy, next week we got a hell of a show for you guys. That's all I gotta say. Big announcement. I'll be making that on Monday. Make sure you guys follow me on Twitter, Big Cloud Gaming. Make sure you follow Tony Polanco. Big Mike just put it in the chat for his YouTube, but also he put it in there for his Twitch. Make sure you guys go down
Appreciate
there
that.
and give him a follow over there for the Throwdown Show. When I tell you it's a fun ass show, looking forward to get on that show eventually. But
Yeah,
it's a
we got to
fun
get you
show.
back on, man.
But,
Yeah.
Definitely go check him out over there for sure. And of course, follow him on Twitter at Romadeth.
Yes.
So, right.
ROMUDTH, man. You got links to everything. Also, check me out over on Tom's Guide. I'm covering everything computing, laptops, computers, tablets, all that good stuff.
Okay. Geek. I know you left geek.com, so it's the coalition with.
Here's the thing. I didn't leave geek.com. Geek.com unfortunately closed down.
Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately. And Coalition, I don't write for them anymore. Obviously, I'm still friends with them, but the only site I write for, and I'm, thankfully make a living off of, is Tom's Guy. I'm a full-time writer there, and it's changed my life, man. I don't have to worry about money anymore. I know I get that paycheck every 15th and 30th. So I've been good, man. Life's been good to me, man.
That's what's up, man.
That's what's about.
Opens. There you go.
That's how it is.
That's what's up. Well, my brother, man, Tony Polanco, y'all. Seriously, shout out to y'all. Shout out to everybody in the chat who came through. Y'all enjoy the rest of your day. You guys want to see me on Solidcast? It's gonna be on Blaze 4K channel. We're gonna be live in about 9 minutes, so I'll see you guys there if you don't follow me there. Until next time, y'all be blessed. Y'all be safe. Y'all be easy. We are most certainly out of here. All right, see y'all later.
Peace.